Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Before you relax, before you lean back, before you tell yourself, I already know enough about Islam, let me ask you something. What if the reason your heart still feels heavy, even after praying, even after trying, even after believing, is because there is one truth you have not fully understood yet? Stay with me, because if you leave early, you might walk away from the very answer your soul has been quietly begging Allah for. Your life is not broken. It is not cursed. It is not unlucky. It is incomplete. And the most dangerous thing about an incomplete life is that it can look successful from the outside, while slowly collapsing from the inside. You might live in the USA, or the UK, or Canada, or Australia. You might have freedom, comfort, opportunities your parents never dreamed of. Yet late at night, when no one is watching, your heart whispers a question you cannot silence. Why am I still not at peace? This video is not here to entertain you. It is here to interrupt you. And yes, interruptions are uncomfortable, but so is waking up one day, realizing you lived an entire life without understanding why Allah created you in the first place. Let me be honest with you. Most people do not fail because they are evil. They fail because they are distracted. Distracted by careers, distracted by relationships, distracted by chasing a version of happiness that was never designed to last. You pray, but your mind is elsewhere. You fast, but your heart is still attached to the dunya. You believe, but not deeply enough to change your decisions. And that is where incompleteness begins. Here is a pattern interrupt. Answer this silently. If Allah took everything away from you tonight, your job, your savings, your status, your health, what part of you would still remain unshaken? If that question makes you uncomfortable, good. Discomfort is the sound of truth knocking. Your life becomes incomplete when Islam stays in your routine, but never reaches your choices. When Allah is in your words, but not fully in your priorities. When you ask Allah to guide you, but you are not willing to walk where that guidance leads. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not come to decorate lives. He came to reconstruct hearts. Islam was never meant to be a background identity. It was meant to be the center. And when the center is missing, everything else feels off balance. That is why some of you feel tired, even when you are resting. That is why success feels empty and comfort feels strangely heavy. Here comes the truth most people avoid. A life without full submission to Allah will always feel incomplete, no matter how impressive it looks to others. Not because Allah is harsh, but because Allah is honest. He did not create your soul to bow to trends, desires, or temporary validation. He created it to bow to Him alone. Let me slow this down. Your anxiety is not random. Your confusion is not accidental. Your restlessness is not weakness. It is your fitra calling you back. And here is the cliffhanger you must not ignore. What if the pain you are trying to escape is actually the invitation you have been postponing? Some of you are thinking, but I already believe. Belief is not the finish line. Belief is the door. What comes after belief is surrender. And surrender is where most people hesitate, because surrender demands change. Change in habits, change in friendships, change in what you tolerate, change in how you define success. And yes, change is scary. But let me ask you something slightly uncomfortable. Is staying incomplete really safer? Here is another interruption. If you knew, without doubt, that standing before Allah could be tonight, would you still delay becoming serious about your deen? Silence is an answer. Your life becomes complete, not when everything goes right, but when your heart finally aligns with why it exists. Completion is not wealth. Completion is clarity. Completion is knowing who you serve, why you wake up, and where you are ultimately returning. And here is the part most videos won't tell you. Allah does not ask for perfection. He asks for direction, but direction requires honesty. Honesty about what you love more than Allah. Honesty about what distracts you from Salah. Honesty about what you keep justifying, even though your heart knows better. If you are still listening, this message is not for everyone. It is for the one who feels that something is missing, but cannot name it. It is for the one who succeeded outwardly, but feels spiritually underdeveloped. It is for the one who knows that time is passing, faster than preparation. Now listen carefully. Your life will not become complete. When circumstances change, it becomes complete. When you change direction, when Allah stops being an option and becomes the foundation, when obedience is no longer a burden, but a relief. When you stop asking, "What can Islam give me?" and start asking, "What does Allah want from me?" Pause here, breathe, and let this question settle in your heart. If this was the final reminder Allah sent you, what would you do differently tomorrow? We are nearing the end, but this is where your action begins. I want you to do something powerful. In the comments, write this sentence honestly. The part of my life that feels incomplete is, do not explain, do not impress anyone, just be real. You will be shocked. How many people reading your comment feel exactly the same? And when you see that, you will realize you are not alone in this struggle. If this message spoke to you, stay connected, subscribe, not for entertainment, but as a commitment to grow, to reflect, and to walk this path together. Because a life guided by Allah is never empty, never wasted, and never incomplete. May Allah complete what is missing in our hearts. May He guide us before time runs out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.